Everybody comes in, your grandmother. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. Even before you do that, and not even including that, that's why I hardly even included that number, although in one state we have a tremendous amount of dead people, so I don't know. I'm sure we do in Georgia too. I'm sure we do in Georgia too. The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right?
That isn't what it meant.
Well, what did it mean then? Explain.
It meant that it's indicative of low-resolution thinking.
This fucking thing on? Hello? Hello? Is it on? I do the same thing every single time too. That's what's incredible about this. Is every time I pop on and I'm like, is it on? And some dumb motherfucker in the chat's gonna be like, yes, it's on. It's on. That every time that happens. Every time. Every single time. It's like that meme with, you know, like the meme with like the you know, the e-babe, and then it's like, you know, it's time to do whatever, and then like there's that guy who's like, it looks like a shriveled up motherfucker who's like, yes, honey. That's y'all, but like, yes, it's on. Is it on? Is it on? Yes, it's on. Hello, folks. Welcome to the Goddamn. I am your host, the Goddamn-er. I'm a goddammer. I goddamn. That's my active, interactive, you know, engagement with society. I'm looking at my feet right now. So that's what's going on. It is on, folks. It is on. Fam is doing appetizer lunch this year, and I've been researching Christmas Ors Dorves? I don't know, what even is an hors d'oeuvre? I don't, like, what even is that? Is that like just like, isn't that like a fish of some kind? Isn't that like, or is that like, is it something that's like not necessarily a fish but could be a fish? What is an hors d'oeuvre? What, like, I don't, is it like anything that's small? Does it have to do with like the stick? Is it supposed to have like a stick on it? Like you pick it up by the stick so your beautiful hands don't get all greasy. The shade of blue looks great on me. It looks so great because it's actually purple. It's not blue, it's purple. I'm looking at it right now. Look at this. This is purple. It might look blue because, like, I don't know, something with the stream, but this is purple. This is like full on purple. It's weird actually, because like, hold on, I'm gonna take a photo because this is purple. This is purple. It looks blue. I know it looks blue. It's strange. Now let's see. Does this look any different? You can see it's more purple in this photograph, right? Hold up. I'm gonna tweet. Should I tweet this? Just a photo of my chest. But, like, it's purple. This is a purple photo. I'll post it in the Discord. This is a purple photograph. What's new? I don't care what's new. I don't care about this application at all. This bitch is telling me what's new. Alright, I posted the image in the Discord. I'm wearing purple, folks. I'm wearing purple. This actually is great because I've, you know... What is purple, though? Like, really, what is purple? Like, there is no such thing as purple. What if my purple is your blue? My case looks purple. Now, this is purple. Yes. But what if my purple is your blue? What if your red is my green? Right? But we just don't know. Right? Like, there's no way to know. What is your green? And what is green? I don't know. I don't have answers here. I only have questions. Because that's the kind of show I do. No solutions, 0% of the time. I should probably do something with these glasses. These are a little, you know, they're a little, you know, little... Like, what if someone's like, oh, you got blue eyes? But, like, they're seeing green. But, like, to them, it's blue, right? Because it's always been blue. But, like, they're seeing what my green would be, but to them, it's blue. Huh? Anyone? No one thinks about this stuff. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to think about the shit that no one else thinks about. That's my role in this relationship here with the streamer and streamee. That's my role. I'm here to think. I'm here to ponder. I've constantly had that thought. What if what I see as one color is seen as someone else by, and that's why we all have different exactly. Like what now? Think about this. What if we all like the same color? Like red is every human being's favorite color, right? Right. Every human being's favorite color is how I perceive red to be, right? But like for everyone else, they see that shade, right? Like their perception is that, but with different colors. So when some dumb motherfucker's like, "Oh, I love green," or "I love periwinkle," to them, that's red. Dervish horse. It's about consciousness, mentions psychedelics, and kind of related. What is dervish horse? You are high. I'm actually not high. That's the thing. I'm actually not high. The letter hack called into the Benjamin Dixon show earlier. That's great. I gotta figure out how to do call-ins. Well, I already figured out how to do call-ins. I gotta do call-ins. Like, I would do it on Discord. But Andrea, your shirt still looks blue, even with me watching you on my TV. That's weird. I don't know. It's purple. It's purple. There is no link. Banjo, there are no links in the chat. Send it to me somewhere else. Email, Discord, Twitter. All right, so I am drinking an X-Wyance, a Ziance, an X-Wyance Ziance Energy grape. This is the grape flavor. It's a Royal Institute lecture by who? Give me a name. They don't leave you on hold like MR. Fuck MR. All my homies hate MR. I've actually been watching Majority Report lately again. I stopped watching. I used to be a daily watcher, and then I started doing the protests, and I've been trying to get back into it. Got this. This is here, and I don't want it there, so I'm gonna throw it over there. Don't dox my Twitter, and I'll send it. Well, send it in a DM so that like no one can just look up people that have mentioned me, and then they'll find you instantly. On my color calibrated monitor, it is blue as well. This is not blue, folks. This is purple. Did you look at Discord? Hold up. Let me open Discord on stream. Have y'all seen Discord? Another crypto argument in the fun hat. You know, again, I've said this before. Anyone who is against cryptocurrency from like a philosophical, ideological thing, they're just dumb, and they're missing the plot. Like, it's like on par with like disliking video games because like nerds like, you know, use racial slurs and voice chat on Halo. Like, it's that tier of like, it just makes no sense whatsoever to me. Like, you can hate certain people, that's fine. You can hate cultures, that's fine. I don't care about hating cultures or people. That to me is irrelevant. But, like, the idea of hating an entire thing because some people use it that are bad is just ridiculous. And I personally think it's why the left loses. I think it's really one of the main ways that the left loses. This is the same shirt. I'm wearing this right now. I took this photograph on stream. Folks, now look at my beautiful hair. Look at that. This is that. That is, look at that. Look at this. Look at this. This is the same shirt. What is going on here? What is going on? Ow, fuck. What is going on here? It's the same shirt. It's not it's the same shirt. Huh? It's the same shirt. Now that's purple, and this is purple. It's the same color. Wait, let me turn my light on. Wait, look at this. Does it look more purple now? Look at that. With the light off, it's blue. With the light on, it's purple. Huh? Isn't that great? Wait, let me shine the flashlight. This is great. This is great. All right, check this out. Look at that. Like, it's blue. Whoa! Whoa! Now it's blue again. Whoa! Look, that's crazy. That is crazy. That is ow. All right. It's crazy stuff. Can I turn up the red on my camera? No. But yeah, back onto crypto. Like, okay, I'm gonna be honest, and this is again a criticism of everyone. Imagine, right? You drink energy drinks. I'm drinking energy drinks right now. Like, keep that in mind. So you drink an energy drink, right? And then you get fast food on the way home from work. And then you post on the internet about how much you don't like cryptocurrency because it's capitalism. I'm smart. And so, like, every argument against cryptocurrency just turns into the "but yet you participate in society" meme. You know what I mean? That's what every single argument about cryptocurrency turns into, is "yet you participate in society." Like, no amount of whining online is going to make cryptocurrency stop being a thing. That's not going to happen. Whining on the internet is not going to do anything. If whining on the internet could make actual policy change, instead of whining about cryptocurrency, let's whine about Medicare for all. That's my opinion. But again, whining on the internet, not going to change anything. So someone making money in cryptocurrency or with cryptocurrency is as capitalist as you going to work. And I'm going to be honest, folks. I'm going to be honest. I would rather make money on cryptocurrency than work at a fast food chain, work for a corporation. I'm just saying. Like, when it comes to the net impact on society and my own mental health, which I do value, I would rather sit at home and day trade dog coins on the internet than go work at Wendy's. I'm just saying. Like, if you want to go work at Wendy's, that's great. I'm happy for you. That's great. Go work at Wendy's. Shit. And I'm not trying to say that, like again, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But personally, I'm not interested in that. I'm not shitting on you if you want to do that. I'm just saying the idea that people think that cryptocurrency is like a unique, like, evil that only, like, and that's a unique evil, and everything else with capitalism is fine because I also participate in it. Like, you know, this cell phone, it was built by slaves, slave children constructed this, yet I still buy it. Why? Because I live in a capitalist society. And as long as we live in a capitalist society, making like, you can like say that it's unethical, right, to make money in certain ways. That's true. Or like, if someone pays me to kill someone, that's unethical, right? I would not support that. But again, I don't view this as any different between, like, working at Wendy's. Working at Wendy's and buying and selling cryptocurrency, let's be honest here. The net impact on society, it's about the same. But the net impact on my mental health, I don't have to go to fucking Wendy's. So that's pretty good. Would I take money from Jack Dorsey? Absolutely. Working is fucking garbage. If I were better at crypto, I would quit. Yeah, I mean, you know. DJ Elf, $2.07. Heating up the chat with some dough. That's good. I would accept money from anybody, personally. The unethical aspect of money transfer is when you accept money from someone and then change your opinion based on the money that you were given. So if someone gives me money and then says, I'm going to need you to stop talking about mutual aid and like healthy eating, I'd be like, well, I'll take the money and then continue talking about that. Like if I don't sign a contract, I'm going to scam you. I'm sorry. So if Jack Dorsey comes to me and says, all right, I'm going to give you 10,000 Bitcoin, just stop talking about that whole healthy eating stuff that you love to talk about. And 10,000. And so I'll do maybe like, and if it's like, all right, do it for a week and then I'll give you the 10K Bitcoin. I'm like, all right. And I'm talking about 10K Bitcoin. I'm not talking about $10,000 in Bitcoin. No, I'm talking about 10K Bitcoin, right? And then I'll take it and then I'll swip right back. But if I were to continue or something, that's the thing. That would be unethical, but I would never do that. Crypto is good for worldwide transactions, illegal payments, alternative currency, and gambling. I don't need it. See, that I do. So 1, gambling. I love gambling. That's one of my favorite things in the world. I love to gamble. I love to spend $10,000 on a literal dog coin and then hope to God it doesn't go to 0. That's fun. That's fun for me. It's enjoyable for me. And so worldwide transactions, also good. I like for people to transact with me from other countries. Illegal payments. People really need to like this idea that cryptocurrency is bad. I mean, have you ever bought drugs on the internet? If the answer is no, then, you might still be cool and have a drug dealer in person. That's fine. All good with me, right? But it's like buying drugs on the internet, that's cool. I'm sorry. That's cool. I don't know what to tell you. Not that I would endorse it. I don't endorse buying drugs on the internet, but I'm saying the option being available, not bad. I get stressed out just hearing about gambling. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Banjo, I am familiar with the talk you sent me. I follow Anil Seth, I think is their name. Yeah, I follow them. They just put out a book recently that I'm considering purchasing. Illegal payments have never happened in fiat. It's never happened ever. I've never bought anything illegally ever with this. Never ever. Well, actually I couldn't, because what the fuck am I going to buy illegally for $1? But if this were $20, which it's not, it's $1, I would have never ever purchased anything illegally, so that would never happen. I'm gonna end Ryan Reynolds' career twice. I watched that movie on Netflix, Red Notice. It's pretty good. Enjoyed. Look at this can. I fucked this can up. Look at this. And there's still liquid in it. That's crazy. But anyway, should we start the show? Your webcam is only 720p, low resolution thinking. No wonder the color is off. I believe that my webcam is actually 1080p. Though, yes, it is actually. It says it right on there. My webcam's 1080p. That being said, my stream is 720p. I stream in 720. Crypto facilitates the same shit fiat does. You've been able to send fiat electronically for a long time. Absolutely. Ryan Reynolds thinks he's the Green Lantern movie with the power of color control. All right. Okay. Play some soundboard clips. All right. This is DJ Elf in the chat right now.
That isn't what it meant.
Well, what did it mean then? Explain.
It meant that it's indicative of low-resolution thinking.
Yep. Fuck you, DJ Elf. You goddamn cocksucker. You're a low-resolution thinker? Did I ever white balance the camera? Personally, the only white balance that I'm interested in is 49%. So, I don't want any balancing of the white population at all. But anyway, let's get on with the goddamn, shall we, folks? We got a goddamn. We got a goddamn. And I'm gonna follow that up with another goddamn. And that would create what at that point would be referred to as a goddamn. So, hell yeah, make it funky. I'm gonna do no such thing, actually. The thing about crypto is currency is a bad name for it. It's more like buying stock in a new field. I don't know about that. I'm not sure. Now, there's a lot of, God damn it, I'm getting wrapped into the crypto thing again. It's happening. A lot of people don't understand cryptocurrency, and a lot of people like to compare it to the stock market, but then say it's not the stock market because of dividends and influence in the company. Now, if anyone thinks that owning stock makes you have any influence in the company, they're dumb. They're dumb. Unless you are like a multi-fucking billionaire, right, and you have like 30% of the company or 51%, you have no influence, okay? You have zero influence. Dividends. A lot of crypto do provide dividends. So, I find this argument out there that stocks are more, I personally think stocks and cryptocurrency are as fake as each other and as fake as money in general. I think all money is fake and it's all a meme and it's a joke. But for whatever reason, there are a lot of people out there that think stocks are more valid than cryptocurrency, and they're dumb. I mean, it's just stupid. And then there's also, again, it all boils down to them being stupid. They just don't know what they're talking about. And they watched, a Majority Report video where Matt Binder says Mt. Gox was a scam, even though that's not true at all. And Matt Leck is like, oh, look, they bought a stadium and called it crypto.com. Oh, look, I watched their latest clip on that. And it was just like, I was so baffled by it. I really is. Because, they don't know what they're talking about. It literally, and again, I'm not trying to be rude, but it's reminiscent of watching Jimmy Dore talk about vaccines. Watching Matt on Majority Report talk about crypto is like watching Jimmy Dore talk about vaccines. They don't know anything about what they're talking about, right? They're working back from their conclusion. Their conclusion is that this is bad and here's why, rather than, oh, let me study this and then come to a conclusion. Their conclusion is, it's bad, and I'm going to look into anything that can prove it's bad and ignore everything else. And to me, it's silly. It's silly. And, I respect them on a lot of things. Cryptocurrency, I think their take is wrong. So, anyways, let's start the show. I got this whole thing. I got a whole show here, folks. There's a whole goddamn show. Folks, the sneeze is coming. Ugh. Did you hear about the U.S. Mint was thinking about taking a bunch of platinum and making it into a giant coin and saying they made $1 trillion? I support minting the $1 trillion coin. Yo, DJ Elf, I did not soil myself talking to Jackson Hinkle. He had like a 2-week-long cringe tour, and it lasted up until a couple days ago. He's still talking. Right? He's still talking about my conversation with him. Right? Recently, he said that I'm too far left. Right? And that, I get all my talking points from college, and I'm a high school dropout. So that's just, he is still whining about losing to me in a conversation. And it's embarrassing. So I view that as a win. Wowza, is my neck okay? My neck is actually a lot better than it was. That was such a strange... It was like a thing where I was sleeping like a dullard, right? And then I sneezed immediately upon waking and I hadn't stretched yet. So it was just I'm... Oh, no! And then, but I'm fine now. All right, folks. Let's get into the show. So we got a show here. A lot of people are aware that I have a show, and so I'm going to get into the show. Yesterday was day 225 of consecutive daily protests in the city of Elizabeth City, North Carolina, over the police shooting of Andrew Brown Jr. that took place on April 21st of this year. Again, folks, it's incredible to me that this story does not get more attention, especially with the recent details. The recent details being that the police knew Andrew Brown Jr. was unarmed before they went in there with assault rifles to murder him. They knew he was unarmed. So the idea that, I was threatened, he might have... They were lying. And then it was recently revealed that one of the sheriff deputies that killed Andrew Brown Jr., that shot their guns, literally ran around, picked up rifle casings instantly, and then tried to hide their magazine, right? And tried to like stuff bullets in there to make it look like they had fired less, right? And they're still employed. They're still walking around. They're driving cars around town in the sheriff mobile. They're still employed by the U.S. government. The United States government is employing them. They are stealing our tax dollars. They are taking our money, and instead of clean water, instead of fixing potholes, instead of putting extra stop signs at the school zone, instead of adding a new traffic light of it, instead they are paying hitmen and assassins to run around and kill our neighbors for fun. Huh? What? Think about that. The U.S. government is sponsoring terrorism. That's what it is. That's what police forces are. Now, one of the things that a lot of people say, oh, why don't you care about the black on black crime? Oh, the black on black crime is so severe. Criminals running in the streets. What are you going to do without police? Huh? First of all, what happens when a criminal, kills someone? Guess what? They go to jail. Right, again, if I were working at Food Lion and I decided, normally I work in the bakery, but I want to get a hot frying pan and then shove it into my coworker's face, right? And then I'm going to melt their face off. Would I get a raise? Would I have the tax dollars of the entire city go directly to my overtime? No, I would go to jail. And the same thing happens when someone kills someone and they're not a police. They get found and they go to jail. So people wonder, why don't you protest what's going on in Chicago? I always get these comments. Chicago, why don't you protest that? First of all, I don't live in Chicago, you dumb motherfucker. Second of all, again, criminals, if you kill someone, you will get found and sent to... Now, not all the time will they get found, but at least there's an attempt. Usually, when a criminal kills someone, right, the only reason why they don't go to jail is because we don't know who they are. That's typically the only reason that someone would get away with murder in this country, is if they cover up their tracks and we don't know who they are. In this instance, I can tell you who we're talking about. We're talking about Robert Morgan, Daniel Meads, Aaron Llewellyn, and the other 4 sheriff deputies who didn't fire their weapons, right? But those 3, we know their names, and they are employed by the U.S. government. The U.S. government steals our money and is paying them to sit at home with a full vacation for several months, and then as soon as they get back in the office, they get a raise. That is not anything remotely like black on black crime in Chicago. Oh my God, Chicago. I don't give a shit about that. Is it bad? Is crime bad? Is killing people bad? Of course. No shit, jackass. Right? But again, there's a difference between killing someone and killing someone while you got the gun from the U.S. government and the U.S. government is currently paying you, and then the U.S. government is currently paying also for your lawyers to defend yourself from killing someone. Again, the only reason why we don't punish criminals who kill, all right, is because we don't know who they are. We can't find them. We know who killed Andrew Brown Jr., and they're walking around with a badge and a gun looking for someone else to kill, and that's why we're protesting. That's why. And again, even at these protests, we do mention when people get killed. There's a huge wave of shootings in Elizabeth City. Yesterday, a 3-year-old was shot dead just right in my neighborhood, and that shit's horrifying, right? So there's always going to be people that die because our society is fucking horrible. We live in a horrible fucking culture around guns, crime, and killing each other instead of having an adult conversation. Imagine a world, right, where you are too much of a beta, loser, antisocial moron that you're afraid to talk to someone and instead you're going to shoot them and kill their 3-year-old child. I'm sorry. And again, I don't know the details of that, but it's just, I'm sorry, that's stupid. The culture that surrounds that is stupid. But guess what? If we find out who did that, guess what? They're going to go to jail. So I'm asking for consistency. If someone is caught murdering someone, they go to jail. And in this instance, with the Pasquotank County Murder Department, they are caught on video, knowing he was unarmed, Andrew Brown Jr., shot him anyway, shot into a neighbor's kitchen, shot in a school zone, covered up evidence. It's all on camera. We know who they are. We know their name. We know where they are. Right, they're being employed by the U.S. government. Our tax dollars are being siphoned away by these leeches and parasites and murderers. Now imagine, right, if I go out there and shoot a 3-year-old, and the U.S. government's like, yo, that's awesome. I'm going to give you 4 weeks, or 4 months, rather, of paid vacation. Don't worry, I got you. We're going to pay your vacation 4 months. You get to sit at home, and we'll give you $3,000 a month, whatever it is, right? And then we're going to give you a salary raise for killing that innocent person who did nothing wrong. We're going to give you an increase. We're going to give you even more money. Huh? Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And so I just wanted to bake in some of those weird criticisms from the right. Even though, again, I think right-wingers are mostly stupid, but a lot of them are very obsessed with watching my content. So just wanted to bake that in there. But again, if you murder someone, you should be held accountable. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple. So I don't know why people feel like they should carve out an exception for police officers. I think personally that that's stupid. You shouldn't do such a thing. But that's just me. That's just what I think. But anyway, 225 days, folks. Yeah, the Christmas lights are nice. The water tower also, look at this, at the top left. The water tower has lights on it too, which I like quite a bit. What's up, folks? How's everyone going today? What's the scoop? But yeah, so yesterday, a 3-year-old was apparently shot and killed. When we were out protesting yesterday, and we went by the police station, we saw like all the cars like speed out, and like there was this big thing, and we were like, oh, something happened. And we found out a 3-year-old was killed in apparently a drive-by shooting in my neighborhood. And that, you know, it's just another day in America, folks. It's just another day in this goddamn hellhole we call America, where grown adults would rather kill 3-year-old children than have an adult conversation that might be a little difficult. Oh, you might cry during a conversation. Oh, well, let's just go kill kids. I mean, we can't have you experiencing emotion like an adult. No way. No, let's just kill some children for fun. And that's this whole country, man. Like, again, like with all these school shootings, these, like, look at this Michigan bullshit. Maybe I'll make this a segment here. I'm not going to read an article, but I want to talk about this. Right, the Michigan shooting that happened, right? I think it was in Michigan with the kid whose parents were Trumpers and they were like bragging about, look at all our guns. We got guns. Trump, 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 guns, right? And then their kid took their guns and went to school and killed people, right? This gun culture is fucking stupid, man. What do you need guns for? Like, why are we, for self-defense. Well, who's attacking you? Like, oh, but what if I get burglared? Well, why are people burgling you? Chances are, most burglars, right, they do it because they're poor and they need money. So we just gave people money, burglary would go away. So then, guess what would happen? The need for guns would go away. But that's a whole nother thing, right? On Twitter, I was talking about this yesterday a little bit. I was drinking last night. And so I like the idea that Trump supporters can raise a child thinking guns are guns. Like, imagine your whole life. You're 15, right? So your entire life up until that moment is like, you go home, guns, guns, Trump, 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 guns, whoa, guns, man, we're going to get some guns. We're going to shoot those Democrats, right? And then, all right, you go to school and people bully you. And and then you go home, and your parents are like, guns, guns, guns. We got some more guns. What's the kid's name? Ethan or something? Let me look up the kid's name. What is it? Michigan school shooting. I mean, like, that's the thing. Is like, which was it, like Oxford or something? Yeah, Ethan Crumbly. Right, so again, and I'm not trying to defend the kid at all, but I'm saying that the parents have a responsibility here, right? When you go home, right, from being bullied all day, right, you're a social pariah, probably because your parents don't know how to raise you, right? You get bullied all the time, right? You go home, your parents are gun lovers, Trump, guns, you're gonna kill Democrats, gonna kill them, gonna kill those Democrats. And you're thinking, right, you raised in a gun culture, at home, guns everywhere, right? All over the place, there's been like 40 school shootings this year. 40 school year, I mean, like since the school year started this summer. There's been like 40 fucking school shootings, right? So you're thinking, right, oh, this is just a thing. If people bully me, I can just go get a gun and kill the people that bully me. You're a kid, right? You're not developed into the world. Your entire life, human life is just disregarded in this capitalist society, right? Again, human life, like, again, people just walk by homeless people on the street and, like, you know, I remember when, like, my parents, like, would see a homeless person while we're walking down the street and they would tell me, don't look. Like, that was a lesson that my parents taught me. Don't look at the homeless person. That was like a lesson. You know, like how to tie your shoes and how to avoid looking at homeless people. That's what you teach children, right? So we live in this society, this capitalist dystopia hellhole, where human life is already just thrown into the fucking garbage can for nothing. No one gives a fuck about human life at all in this society, at all. We're all fucked, we all hate each other, and we all want to kill each other all the time. That's America, folks, right? So when you have a 15-year-old who's been grown, born, and raised in the primordial soup of death, destruction, and hatred, right, by these fucking evil parents, again, right, the parents bear responsibility, right? And then when you look at this case in Michigan with Ethan Crumbly, right, where it's like, teachers reported his behavior as strange, all this stuff. They, like, hours before he shot and killed several people, right, he was in, like, the principal's office or whatever, the guidance council, whatever it was, and they're like, well, I guess he's good to go, because they don't feel like doing their job. They don't care, right? They're just, like, going through the motions. We're all sleepwalking through life. That's another thing about capitalism, right, is we're all sleepwalking through life. We all don't give a fuck. We're all just doing what we need to do to get a paycheck, go home, drink beer, and sleep. That's our lives, right? So when you go to school, like, you go to work and you work at a school as a guidance counselor, you're so like, you get hundreds of kids you're talking to a week, and this, that, whatever, all right, whatever, okay, whatever. You don't want to do the paperwork. You don't want to have to go home and you do extra work. You just want to go home, drink your beer, and sleep. So you're going to fucking cut corners. And one of those corners that you're cut is going to be a school shooter, right? So you look at this instance, right? And it's just ridiculous to me. But the parents, right? Yeah, his parents were called to school that day, right? The parents went there again. And so last night I was drinking a little bit. I was thinking about this whole thing. And I tweeted out that I don't think Trumpers should be allowed to have children. Now, that's not a super serious take. But I want to have that conversation, though. Where it's like, where is the level of accountability? The kid is 15, right? You should be old enough to know that killing people is bad when you're 15. You should be. You should be. But obviously, you're not. Right? With this guy's case, he's obviously not able to understand that killing people is actually bad. And then we also have to, like, and I'm not trying to blame bullies. Well, actually, I am. I'm going to blame bullies here. What is this society where kids bully other kids in school? What is that? What? What? Like, I'm sorry, but what? Like, that, the parents of those kids who bullied Ethan also, now, I'm not trying to say that they're solely responsible for the school shooting, not at all. But again, we need to examine all of ourselves on a cultural level. On a cultural level, we have to understand, why would you let your child bully someone else? How are you raising a child that thinks bullying is acceptable behavior? Now, again, I'm not saying that they're responsible for Ethan going on a psycho spree, right? There's a lot of moving parts here, right? There's a lot of moving parts here. There's a lot. Everyone is responsible. I'm responsible. You're responsible. Everyone that participates in the society is responsible in some degree. So again, it's not about placing blame and saying, you're the bad guy, you're the bad guy. We're all bad. And we all have to examine our behavior here. Because again, Let's look at the chain of events. Let's look at the domino effect that led to that school shooting, okay? You have Trump supporting gun nut lunatics raising a kid around guns all the time. Guns, guns, guns. Kill Democrats, kill Democrats. How are we going to kill them with our guns? Trump, Trump, Trump. Guns, guns, guns. We love guns, right? And that kid is bullied by some other fucking piece of shit whose parents are like, whatever. They're probably just not involved in their kid's life whatsoever. Again, if a kid's a bully, they've got deep emotional trauma probably that stems from a lack of care and attention from their parents, right? I get it. Whatever. I'm not trying to say someone who's 15 bullying someone, shoving them into a locker should feel personally responsible for mass shootings. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, again, it's a domino effect. If you didn't bully that motherfucker, maybe that motherfucker wouldn't have killed people in your school, right? So again, it all goes to the parents of these kids. What are we teaching our kids? Think about this. I don't have kids, right? But what are we teaching? What are they teaching their kids? Because I don't have kids. So this is all on y'all motherfuckers. Y'all motherfuckers with kids out there, I'm talking to you. I don't have kids, right? And if I do have kids, I'm not going to teach them about guns. And I'll teach them that they exist, right? But I'm not going to be like, guns, oh my God, everybody go, guns, woo! Right? Because I'm not a fucking psychopath. But again, that's another problem that we have is, okay, think about this, right? Think about this. Again, and I'm bringing this in a little bit. 95% of Americans don't eat enough fiber. I know you're rolling your eyes. You're like, oh, here we go. So 95% of Americans don't eat enough fiber. What's fiber? Vegetables. 95% of Americans don't eat vegetables, right? Every other societal event in America, you can trace the domino effect back to processed food. And I'm just saying, right? Because again, when you are in a culture where 95% of the people in the culture are malnourished. They're malnourished. What does being malnourished cause? Brain fog, lack of care, lack of empathy, derealization, all that kind of stuff, right? You just don't care about the world. You're just kind of sleepwalking through life. You don't eat fucking food properly, right? And then again, capitalism makes us work all the time. Kids, right? Probably look at my situation. My situation is I was raised by a single mother, right? She would go to work, come home with fast food, and then go to bed. I barely ever talked to her for most of our life, right? She's dead now. But most of my time as a kid, barely ever really talked to her. Because for most, outside of when I was a really young kid, right? Really it was around when I was 7 or 8. It would just turn into the cycle. Go to work, bring home fast food, sometimes maybe bring home something you throw in the microwave, then go to sleep. We hardly ever talked. We hardly ever interacted, right? And so when you extrapolate that, right, and then maybe add guns to the mix, right? Maybe you throw some guns out there. The parents are both ignoring the kid. The kid's getting bullied. You throw that into, you got a whole concoction now, and boom, school shooting. And again, there's 40 of them just this year, this school year, I should say. Because there's probably been more this whole year of calendar year, right? But this school year, there's already been 40 of these motherfucking mass shootings. What? 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 And again, this culture that we live in, where capitalism tells us we can't have any time to raise our children, here's my opinion. If you can't properly raise a child, don't have a child. That's my opinion. Again, my mother clearly was not capable of raising a child. I would have rather never been born to deal with that shit. And I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there, right? And again, there's really nothing special about life. Let's be honest. The human condition, it's nothing special. All right? I got born into this world. I didn't choose. It was non-consent. My consent was violated from the jump. I got thrown into this shitstorm. Right, 2 motherfuckers decided to get it on, and now I have to make money to fucking feed myself. What? I have to sell my soul to capitalism to feed myself because 2 motherfuckers 25 years ago were like, oh shit, let's get freaky. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. When you think about that, right? And then you think about how beautiful the human experience is. How beautiful and wonderful. Look at this shit going on in your brain, right? The human consciousness is the most incredible thing in the history of the fucking world. Nothing ever that we will ever interact with, not a robot, not a cool looking dog, not a really beautiful piece of art, nothing we ever in the world, in the history of forever, ever will ever interact with aliens. If aliens ever came, they would still not be as mystical and wonderful as the human consciousness. And look at what we're doing. Like, again, 95% of Americans don't eat vegetables. You know what happens when you don't eat vegetables? Again, your brain turns to mush. You become a zombie when you don't eat properly. Why do you think fast food and processed food is so popular? Why do you think they feed junk food to kids in school? It's because they don't want people to think. They don't want people's brains to be working at peak functionality. They want people to be addicted to sugar. They want people to be addicts. Addicts. We're all addicts to poison. Look at me. I'm addicted to fucking caffeine. But I would rather be addicted to caffeine than sugar and fucking processed food and fast food, right? And that kind of shit. I would much rather be addicted to marijuana than fucking like high fructose corn syrup. I'm sorry, I'm just telling the truth. All right, so I'm just letting y'all know about my opinion here. So my opinion is, until we get society together, until we get this shit on the right track, we should all stop having kids. Fuck your desire to have a family. How about, oh, and also, how fucked up is it, by the way, to have a kid during this? During this. Like, you look at the world, there's a pandemic, right? Dystopian capitalism, right? You can't pay for, like, drugs are impossible to find, right? Like, we're talking about, like, prescription drugs, so you have to pay out the ass. Everyone's dying. My family just died. I'm gonna have a kid. I'm gonna bring another life into this world. What? What? Is that a joke? Is that a joke? Like, is this like a stand-up routine that you're doing? You're gonna look at the world as it is, and your decision, that's right, I want a kid. I'm sorry, man. Fuck you. I'm being a little hyperbolic here. I'm not trying to be too rude. But again, like, our culture is fucked up. And I wanted to talk about this because the Michigan school shooting, really, I mean, that's getting a lot of attention. And the story, the thing about it that really is, again, it's multifaceted. Gun culture, Trumpism, capitalism, bad parenting. Bad parenting is the most important thing. There are a lot of people that should not have kids. They shouldn't. They just shouldn't fucking ever have kids. Most people. Look at the average motherfucker. Dumb as a rock. Think about the average American. Dumber than this dog. Look at that dog. That dog's pretty dumb, right? But I love him. But he's a pretty dumb dog, right? He runs into the wall. He's also blind, but that's, right? Half of Americans are dumber than that. Like, think about that. I know, it's a classic one, right? You got the average motherfucker, dumb as a rock, and then half of them are dumber than that. Right? Like, so you've got the dumb motherfucker, you're visualizing the dumb motherfucker, and then you have to realize there's about 175 million that are dumber. Yeah, 175 million people that are dumber than that dumb motherfucker over there. What? What? Thank you for reminding me about circumcision. Did you know 80% of Americans cut their babies' dicks off? Personally. Right out the womb. They cut that motherfucker's dick off. Personally, that's another reason why I don't think these motherfuckers should have kids. Imagine you have a kid, in the first week of their life, you cut their dick off. Huh? Yeah, I love my kid. First week of their life, gonna cut that dick off. What? 80%. 80% of Americans have their dicks cut off. Well, 80% of Americans with dicks, right? What? Like, I'm sorry, what? So, okay, think about this. I wonder if Ethan, I shouldn't be wondering, but, okay, so the very, we are so stupid as a society, we are so dumb as a culture, that 80% of us cut our children's dicks off right after they're born. 80% of us. That's how dumb America is. That's how dumb it is. Americans go, oh, look at this beautiful baby. Snip. Cut that dick off. We don't need it. Like, again, what the hell's going on? And people are having kids. Personally, I think having children is one of the most fucked up decisions you can ever make in your life. I mean, I'm not trying to say that people that have kids are bad. I'm not trying to say that at all. There's and especially people that watch my show. I know y'all are really good people, and we're not, again, we're talking about most motherfuckers, right? I consider my audience to be, above average, I would say, in intelligence. I hope that y'all motherfuckers aren't cutting your kids' dicks off. I hope to God that that's not the case. And if you used to because you were dumb, and now you know better, please stop cutting your kids' dicks off. It's not cool. It's hip. It's hip. Yeah, it's hip. I'm sorry. I'm just again, I'm sorry. But this is we have to examine this shit from a cultural level. We can't just say, oh, Ethan Crumbley is just a lone shooter. He's fucked up. He was a fucked up kid. We can't even just say, oh, his parents were fucked up. They were Trump supporters. Yeah, fuck Trump. What about, were the parents of the bullies Trump supporters? I don't know. I haven't looked into it that much. I don't know if that info is out there. Right? But my God, man. This society that we are living in is beyond fucked up. It is beyond fucked up. 80% of Americans cut their kids' dicks off. 95% of Americans don't know how to eat vegetables. Bongo Dave, I got snipped. Women seem to prefer it for oral reasons. I'm going to go out there and say this. If you are, it doesn't need to be a woman, if you are a cocksucker and you prefer cut dick, first of all, I want to let you know you're dumb. You're a dumb motherfucker. I'm just saying, the human dick is way better and I'm not, trying to, if you've got a cut, penis, that's, I'm sorry about that. And there's nothing and that's why we should stop that from ever happening again. But I'm just saying, right, the idea of having a preference, come on now. And if there is a preference, the idea of the preference being, oh yeah, let me just cut your dick off and I prefer that. I'm sorry. What? 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 Yeah, I like to, when I'm engaging in sexual activity, I like to cut my partner's lips off. Because it makes kissing better. Are you listening to the sound of the words that are coming out of your mouth? Yeah, my preference, I've got a foot fetish, but, when I'm sucking my partner's toes, I really want to just cut off the pinky toe. It gets in the way. What? I'm just trying to fathom what the fuck that is. So if you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're whatever you want to be, that's fine. If you have a preference, oh yeah, I prefer my partner got their dick cut off when they were a kid. You sound like a fucking freak. You're a freak, and you're a loser. I'm sorry. That makes you sound like a fucking psychopath. And if that's your kink, if you're oh man, if you're into I want to, see burn marks in your flesh or something. If you're into that extreme stuff, okay, right? But it's I'm sorry, man. What the fuck? Yeah, I prefer my partner to have had their dick cut off when they were a kid. What? Yes. You know what I mean? Oh, and what are the reasons? You ever have these fucking talks with people that I'm gonna get way off topic. This video started as talking about the Michigan shooting, so I'm gonna end it there. My society is fucked up. The Michigan shooting should tell you the society's fucked up. If you're a parent, pay attention to your fucking kids. Also, gun lovers are stupid. Trumpers are stupid. Y'all should have your kids taken away if you are a psychopath. If you teach your kid to murder people, and that's oh yeah, murder people. Gonna murder Democrats, hate the Democrats, we're gonna buy guns and kill Democrats. If that's what you're teaching your kid, you shouldn't have a kid. That's what I'm saying. So on that subject, case closed. Now let's get back into the dicks. All right. So, again, imagine. Bongo Dave is you realize that they don't cut your dick off, right? Well, they cut the good part off. That's like saying, yeah, before engaging in sex, I like to cut my fingerprints off. Or cut the tips of my fingers off. That's what I prefer. I prefer to have sex with people that have no feeling in their hands. Why? Well, You know. Like, I'm just... Like, is anyone thinking about this? Like, does it make any sense at all? So, and again, back to the cultural problem. People that prefer cut dicks, you're dumb. If you have a preference, first of all, I don't think having a preference, like, given the fact that it's an irreversible procedure, I think the idea of having a preference on that, right, I think that that can inspire a lot of, you know, depression in people, right? But, you know, whatever. I personally, again, no preference, but, like, the idea that you'd think there's, like, a big difference. I mean, like, unless you're sucking dick and someone, like, has a foreskin and they haven't cleaned that shit, first of all, there's a bigger problem. The bigger problem is they're not cleaning their dick. That's the problem. Like, oh, I'm going to cut my baby's dick off so they don't have to clean it in the shower. Are you going to plug up their asshole, too? Like, I'm serious. If we're trying to, like limit the amount of showers that we're taking or, like, the efficiency of showers, plug up the asshole, cut the eyelashes off, shave your head off, get rid of the hair follicles. Why have hair grow? When you grow hair, guess what? You gotta wash it. And guess what? You gotta shampoo it. And guess what? That takes time in the shower. So fuck that hair. Rip the hair. Rip your scalp out. Rip all those follicles out. Get that shit out of my life. I don't want to have to clean my hair. What? What? Oh, you mean you didn't rip out your kids' hair follicles so that they could have an easier life, not having to clean their hair all the time? Wow, what a bad parent you are. Because that's the other thing, is these motherfuckers who cut their kids' dicks off, right? They think that we're the weird ones. They look at us like we're the freaks. So let me get this straight. You got a new kid, fresh out the womb. Week 1, snip, snip, you cut their dick off. And we're the weird ones. You're not thinking, oh, week 1, let's watch Disney cartoons and let's lullaby and let's not get any sleep and let's take pictures and let's, you know, have our family over. You gotta see the baby, have the family over. No, fuck that. Let's cut their dick off. Is there a miscommunication occurring? Is there a glitch going on in the world? Like, I'm like, is this what is that? Right? Like, what is that? You know what this is? You know what it is?
That isn't what it meant.
Well, what did it mean then? Explain.
It meant that it's indicative of low resolution thinking.
That's what it is, motherfucker. That's what it is. It's indicative of low resolution thinking. So, okay, here's another question. Oh, the appendix. We don't need the appendix. Now, apparently we do. We're discovering more things about the appendix. But, you know, we are now discovering what the appendix is used for. Right? So, what if it was human procedure? New baby? Harvest their organs. Rip that appendix out. I mean, you don't need it. Haven't you heard of appendicitis? What if they have to go to the hospital when they're 18 with appendicitis? Rip that appendix out. Do it when they're a baby so they don't know. Does that make sense to you? What? And then what if we found out the appendix was like, you know, which we are finding out that it has anti-cancer properties and it helps prevent cancer, right? Whoops, I don't have an appendix. My mom ripped it out of me when I was a young person. What? I don't like the idea that my parents were dumb because they listened to what was considered. It's nothing unique about your parents. It's the cultural stupidity. Like, people do the best that they can with the situation. I'm not even going to say that. I don't think any parent does the best that they can. Let's be real. Let's be fucking honest about this. There is 0% of parents that do the best that they can. So fuck that phrase. I'm erasing it from my fucking vernacular. But again, they did something at the time. Hey, full disclosure, my parents cut my dick off when I was a kid. Makes me sad. I'm, just saying. So, full disclosure. So this is like, I've got this burning rage in my body. And I'm willing to say, my parents, fucking dumb. And I've had this argument with them. Fucking stupid. What the fuck were you thinking? How dumb is a motherfucker have to be? Oh, new baby. Cut the dick off. All right. Yeah, that's right. Oh, can't have that dick grow. Gotta cut it off while it's still young. What is this fascination with baby dick that 80% of parents have? Like, this fascination. And then, you ever hear these motherfuckers that cut their babies' dicks off, right? Alright. And then what do? Oh, those Muslim countries. Oh, they're so barbaric. Have you heard of female genital mutilation? That's right. Have you heard of it? Those motherfuckers. The motherfuckers who cut their kids' dicks off are the ones, oh, the female genital mutilation, oh, those radical Muslims, oh my God. Now let me cut my kid's dick off. Unlike those savages. Umar Soares. Andrea, this is like saying the black people in the Tuskegee medical experience weren't dumb because they didn't know. It's fucking insulting. I mean, it depends on how we define dumb. I don't think being dumb necessarily means you're a bad person. I don't at all. I'm not trying to come across that way. I'm talking about as a culture. Like, again, I think anti-vaxxers are dumb. Do you think anti-vaxxers are dumb? Well, in their minds, right? They are purebloods, and they're trying to, like, keep the human genetic, genome alive, because in their mind, right? Like, the vaccine manipulates our DNA, and we're all not human anymore, and they're, like, the real last frontier of humanity. They actually believe that. So when you think, right, that that's the reality that you're living in their world, they're not dumb at all. You know, and that goes in, like, you know, not properly cleaning yourself before the mass advent of soap. You know, wasn't that easy to clean yourself too efficiently. I mean, doctors advise a lot of things that's really horrible. I think there's a huge problem with our medical industry. But also, Umar, I'm not talking... I don't give a shit about 80 years ago. I don't give a shit about 60 years ago. I give a shit about right fucking now. That's what I care about. You know, people doing things that were dumb at the time. Like, we used to put lead in gasoline. Think about that. Lead in gasoline. And then it gets in the atmosphere, and then people breathe it in, and then it fucks their brains up. Yeah, lead in gasoline. What? That was dumb. Now, people didn't know at the time. Now we know. Like, again, climate change. In the 1940s and 50s, burning fossil fuels, was it dumb, objectively speaking? Absolutely. But they didn't know. Right? And then, 60s, 70s, we start to realize, wait a second, 80s, 90s, all right, now we are absolutely definitively sure. And then 2000s, 2010s, all right, what the fuck? Now we're in our 2020s, and Joe Biden's like, net zero by 2050. That's dumb. So that I want to make that distinction. We live in a society where information is significantly more readily available than any point ever in human history. Right? And so, like, I think that there is a personal responsibility that people have on this planet to educate themselves enough to be able to participate in society without being a net detraction. That's what I think. Anti-vaxxers have failed. They have failed to do so. People that cut their dicks off, or cut their babies' dicks off, they have failed to do so. They have failed to properly educate themselves in order to participate in a society that isn't, like, harming other people. Again. Oh, but my baby! Oh! You know, I heard a reason. And I've got people in my family that have circumcised their children, right? So I'm just saying this. I know it's possible that they might watch this show. And yes, I'm talking about you, but, you know, we can have this conversation later. I've heard the excuse. Oh, it's easier to change a baby's diaper when you circumcise them. It just makes it easier. Think about that logic. Think about that logic. Oh, I don't have to wipe around the foreskin when I change my baby's diaper. So wait, you are going to damn your child to an eternity of not being able to experience sexual pleasure in its purest form because you want to save some time changing diapers for the first year and a half of their life? Doesn't sound like a great trade-off. Doesn't sound like a really logical excuse. Doesn't sound like something that's probably going to be for the best for all parties involved. Hey, I'm just saying. So fuck circumcision, fuck circumcisers, and fuck you. That's what I'm saying. So make that a new segment. MIT says society will collapse by 2050. I believe it. I believe it. Not even a joke, folks. I believe that shit, full stop. I believe the shit out of that. Hey, I don't have kids. I've never changed a diaper. So, I don't know. All I know is that was something that someone who circumcised a child told me. That's all I know. I don't, like, maybe I should educate myself more on that. And if you say that, Andrew, that, like, actually that's even more harmful. I mean, well, also this kid doesn't, you know, they don't, so it's not like, you know, they tried it out and said, oh, this is rough. It's just like, it's a post hoc excuse, you know? It's like, you working back from the conclusion. Like, it's not like, you know, like they already cut the dick off, right? So it's not like they're making any mistakes with the like, well, other than, you know, cutting it off, right? So, my God. Anyway, so I hope you all enjoyed the show today. How's everyone doing? Let's, you know, change the subject. I know I got off on a little bit of a tear. So, but you know, I'm working on it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm not trying to offend people here. Well, I mean, I guess I am. But I'm not, you know, if you get offended by anything I say, like, you know, I hope that we're able to have a conversation about it. Right? But I mean, I do think, I am trying to offend. I really am. Because if you cut your kid's dick off, I want you to feel bad about it. I do. I genuinely do. Because I feel bad about it. People that I know that had their dicks cut off, they feel bad about it. So, maybe you should too. And that's just, you know, you can't go back and change the world, right? So, you know, keep trucking, keep along, and try your best in the future, of course, right? But it's like, you know, we all fuck up. We all make mistakes. You know, my mistakes, I haven't cut any baby sticks off, so maybe my mistakes aren't as bad as yours, but hey, we all make mistakes. We all mess up every now and again. You know, and that's the thing, and this culture, man, it is fucked. I don't know what the term intactivist means. Like, I get that's a play on intact and activist, I guess, right? So I would assume it means that, like, they're people against circumcision, right? And that's good. Right? So it's like, I cut my baby's dick off, and then, you know, I dawned on me, holy shit, I wish I didn't, and I want to make it so that no other babies get their dicks cut off. I'm down with that. That's good. Endorsed. You are most astute. Look at this fucking shit Andrew's posting in the chat. You are most astute. Yes, you are. Yes. Most astute. That is some college professor bullshit right there. That is some grade A, nose up your asshole bullshit. You are most astute. Yes, indeed. Indubitably so. You're the most astute motherfucker I've ever seen in my gosh darn life. This cocksucker. From one cocksucker to another, you got some shit up your ass, let me tell you. Oh, man. I'm perpetually entertained, folks. At all times, I am just constantly in a world of self-entertainment. My God. There's a doodle barking. Can you hear that goddamn doodle? I have no idea what's going on downstairs, but that doodle is fucking freaking out. That goddamn doodle. I remember when I first got Max the dog, and the doodle did that for the first time. Max was concerned. Now look at him. He doesn't give a shit. Look at him. Look at this dog. He doesn't care at all. Look at him. He's just chilling. He's like, yeah, whatever. And then fucking doodle's making a woof again. Look at this dog. Look at that. Max doesn't give a shit. Max, do you care? Do you care at all? Do you care at all about that dumb doodle? That's right, folks. Almost missed out on the Max the dog segment today. Hey, Chokey. Look at him. Max the dog. Oh, sneezed in my mouth. Oh, there we go. But yeah, so my goal is to just make people think about the world a little bit. That's what I want. I want people to laugh a little bit too. So if I ever seem like I'm going like really, deep in it, I'm, like a lot of people criticize my hyperbole of cutting dicks off. Like, it is not technically, factually a true statement that the entire dick is cut off. That is obviously true. Right? But I'm going for the hyperbole. People need to stop taking the world so fucking goddamn seriously. I'm sick of this shit, man. Because here's the thing. Everyone takes the world extremely seriously, but then they don't do anything about it. Like, if we want to take the world seriously and stop joking about things, all right, let's do it. Let's get some work done. But these motherfuckers out there that get offended by fucking stupid jokes and, like, that kind of shit, like, they're not out there, like, actually fixing the world. All they do is fucking complain. All they do is fucking complain about anyone ever having fun ever. They're part of the fucking problem. They're part of the goddamn problem. Oh, I'm so upset right now. Like, what the fuck? Max! Max! Ah! Talking about dicks again? Yo, I love dick. Look at this doggy. He's so perfect and precious. Perfect and precious. You're perfect and precious. Not only is this dog perfect, but he is also precious. Bitching about everything just to get attention? Damn right, bitch. It's all fun and games until you have a kid. That's the thing. Like, imagine having a kid and then not doing anything. Like, not trying to fix the world. Like, yeah, you have a literal child and you cut their dick off and then you're going to feed them fast food every day. Like, what's the point, man? Like, I feel like people have kids just to, like, have something to do. Like, get a hobby. Like, I don't know, like, watch the entirety of, like, like, The Twilight Zone or something. Like, watch General Hospital, like, every episode. Like, do something, man. You don't have to have a kid just to entertain yourself. I feel like that's most people, right? They fuck for entertainment, and then they have the kid for entertainment. It's just something to do. It's just something to have life go by. It's just like, I'm bored. Let's have a kid. All right. Got nothing else to do. Got nothing else to do. You want to fuck? All right. Oh, whoops, I got pregnant. You want to have a kid? Got nothing else to do. Fuck. Got nothing else to do. They just canceled my favorite show on TV. Why not? Let's fucking have this kid. I don't care. My God, man. Y'all motherfuckers out there that have kids. And I'm talking to my parents, too. My parent, the one left. Like, I mean, my God, man. Like, what is going on with these motherfuckers and having kids? Most people, like, imagine, again, let's go back to the 50%, right? So you got the average motherfucker, right? The most average, like, right in the middle, 50%, right? 100% being the smartest MF on planet Earth, right? And then 1% being, like, dumb as a rock, right? A real stupid motherfucker. So we're talking about 50%. That motherfucker, dumb as hell, right? And then half of them are dumber, and they're all having kids. So, okay, let me get this straight. So half the population, stupid as fuck. 1/6 of the country believes QAnon conspiracies. 1/6. That's like what, 16%, 15%, something like that? They believe QAnon. 30% of Americans are Republicans. That encompasses everyone below the average intelligent person. They're all Republicans. So that's what, 33%. I'm sure the QAnon and the Republican just crossover. So you got like what, 35% of Americans. Batshit. They are batshit. They are fucking nuts. And they're all having kids. They're like, oh, let's pop another one. Yeah, that's right. Let's have some kids. You want a kid? Yep, that's right. That's why they hate abortion so much. They want to have more fucking kids to abuse and to fucking attack and to destroy the lives of and to create more fucking killers. Like, look at Kyle Rittenhouse. How did Kyle Rittenhouse get to Kenosha, Wisconsin? His mommy drove him. The motherfucker's mommy drove him to go pick up his illegal gun so that he could kill people. Was the mom on trial? No. It was just the innocent little boy. Poor Kyle, he cried and he's traumatized by murdering people. Didn't the mom, like, and also, like, let's just think about this on a mother perspective, right? What kind of mom is like, oh yeah, they're burning down buildings, I'm gonna bring my 17-year-old kid up there? Like, okay, right, you're a right-winger, you're a Trumper, you think that BLM, Antifa, rioters and looters are gonna burn down the auto zone, the rioters and looters gonna burn down. Let's bring my 17-year-old in there. What? My God, look at this dog, by the way. What a beautiful creature. Was it, like, how did he get to Kenosha then? Did I miss that? Who drove him to Kenosha? He drove himself. Okay, well, who enrolled him in cadet courses? Who, like, I mean, come on now. Like, again, this whole idea that parents never have any responsibility. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. But I'll retract it, I guess. I mean, you know. If you give me the up-to-date info. Look at him, he's so beautiful. He defended himself. My favorite way to defend myself. All right, check this out. Check this out. So I just went to the Bojangles down the street. Right? So I went to the Bojangles. And I brought my gun. Right? And then I got into an argument with someone over chicken nuggets. Right? And then I brought out my gun. And then the guy who wouldn't give me my chicken nuggets yelled at me and then tried to push me, and so I just killed him. And then, when I was running away from the scene, and someone else was trying to, like, stop me from killing anyone else, then I killed them too. Self-defense, bro. When you bring a gun, like, it's, like, self-defense is like, let's say BLM, rioters and looters. Rioters and looters! They're running through the streets! The blacks are running through the streets! The rioters and looters are burning down buildings! Whoa! Right? Like, let's assume that's true. Like, you believe that, right? That's the world that you live in, okay? And let's say the rioters and looters come to your door, right? Like, you know that fucking bullshit that happened, I think it was in Louisiana, where the bitch and the bastard, like, got out of their house with guns? That, it's dumb, it's escalating pointlessly, but there is, like, that's your house. Like, at least there is some, like, it's not like you went there, right? It's not like you drove there. It's not like you went out of your way, right? They came to your house. If you wanted to, like, put a gun out there, like, you look like a fucking clown, like, goddamn, right? And then the bitch was, like, pointing the gun at her husband, like, because she's so stupid and hasn't trained, right? And so, yeah, there's a lot of problems with that, too. But it's like, okay, at least you're at your house. You're actually, like, you know, defending yourself and your property. Kyle Rittenhouse went out of his way to a place he did not live in, bought a gun illegally. He said weeks prior he wanted to shoot people, and then he was in self-defense. Like, what? That's like the next there's going to be a school shooter, right? Like, imagine if Ethan Crumbly, because his parents are right-wingers, right? So I'm sure that the right wing loves this kid. Imagine if Ethan Crumbly was running through the fucking school, right? Just killed 2 people. And then, one of the teachers tries to apprehend him. And then the teacher, gets scissors or something and comes at Ethan with scissors. And then Ethan kills the teacher. Oh, self-defense. He's an innocent boy. Self-defense. Huh? What? That's the Kyle Rittenhouse defense. It's fucking dumb. It's dumb. He's a precious little boy. Yeah, sure, he went there to kill people. He killed people. But he's a precious little boy. What? He didn't buy the gun, someone else bought it for him, and then he paid them. He bought the gun from someone else who bought it for him. Because why? Why did he have someone else buy for him? Because he couldn't legally own the weapon or purchase the weapon. That's why. And that's the thing. Is this whole self-defense thing is dumb. It's just dumb. If you believe Kyle acted in self-defense, you are a fucking idiot. And not only are you an idiot, but you're also a bad person, and you being in society makes society worse. Your involvement in humanity makes humanity worse. The idea that someone... Again, let's look at Kenosha. Susan brings up a good one. In Kenosha, a young black woman who got sex trafficked, sold into sexual slavery in the United States, killed her abuser, and got charged for murder and is in prison right now. So someone sells you into sexual slavery, and you manage to take their gun and kill them. Murderer. Murderer. You're a murderer. First degree. You planned it. Well, legally, it is self-defense, Catherine, because the law is fucking stupid. That decision made the law. That decision, unless it gets appealed to the Supreme Court or something, right? The law of the land is that you can bring a gun somewhere and kill someone as long as you're a right-winger. And that's the problem with the law, is the enforcement of the law. And people do not understand how law works. Law is a suggestion. Law is a guideline. Law is just an idea. The actual point where law matters is in the courtroom. That's law. That's the world that we live in. The judicial system is this country's law books, right? Racist, Trump-appointed judges sentencing black people to fucking months in prison for marijuana possession. That's the law working just fine. The law is purposefully vague so that people can decide, Trump-appointed judges can decide what's good law when it's a white kid killing black people or Black Lives Matter protesters or whatever, right? That's good. That's fine. When it's a black woman killing an abuser, and that's why the law sucks. That's why I say, fuck the law. Fuck you. Fuck the law. Fuck the government. Fuck cops. Fuck judges. Fuck prosecutors. Fuck them in the face with a face fucking machine. The whole point of the law is to obfuscate things, to make people go oh, maybe it was illegal. Okay, it's legally self-defense. Who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck. Oh, it's legally. I don't give a fuck what the law says. You think I place any value in your laws? But Catherine, again, we're obscuring that. That's the whole point. Every court case that goes, like, again, there's these court cases of black people getting thrown in life imprisonment because someone misidentified them at a stand, like one of those, like, what is it? The lineups. Like, you get misidentified, life in prison. That's law. Is it the best law? No, but it's law. Like, again, law is so vague, it can mean whatever you want at any time. And the only thing that matters is power. There is no such thing as law. It's all suggestions. It's all like things on paper. The only thing in the world that matters is power. When you live in a society where you let Trump be president and you let Trump appoint a judge, I think this guy was like a Bush or a Reagan appointed judge. I'm not sure. But let's just say, right? You let these people then sentence black people to like life imprisonment for the same thing a white person did, but let the white person get off. That, and you don't do anything about that? That's law. That's power. Law doesn't exist. There is no such thing as law. That's what I'm trying to get out. So it can be legally whatever it wants to be. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what's legal. I don't give a fuck what's illegal. It means nothing to me. That's all. I'm just saying. I'm being honest with you. It means nothing. I don't care about it at all. I'm gonna make this a segment too. Because again, the law can be look at what's happening in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is abolishing Roe v. Wade. How did that happen? I thought it was I thought that it was a constitutional right to abortion. What? What? No. There is no constitution. There is no rights. There are no rights, I should say. There is no law. Law doesn't exist. Fuck the law. Fuck you. Right? The only thing that matters is when you let grown adults wear a giant Klan robe that they painted black. No relation. They took their Klan robes, they painted them black. All right, cool. And they get, oh, justice! Oh, Justice Breyer! Justice Sotomayor! Justice Kavanaugh! Justice Barrett! Oi! I'm a justice! Yes, I am! Yo, those are clowns. Like 1,000 years ago, those would be the town fools. They're running around in blankets and sheets, acting like they're, I do declare that the grand law of the land. What? I'm sorry. That's mental illness, is what that is. That's mental illness. They walk around in blankets and sheets and then pound a mallet and say that people can't get abortions. That's mental illness. I'm sorry. Like, and anyone who thinks that that means anything also is involved in the same mental illness. Y'all are in your own world. There's Catherine, my argument is that there is no such thing as settled law. There is no such thing. The law changes all the time. The laws don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. Look at, like, taxes. Look at the corporate tax rate versus the effective tax rate. Oh, when they get all the loopholes. Look at just wage theft. That's against the law. Wage theft is against the fucking law. But they do it anyway. Why? Because enforcement is the only thing that matters. And when no one enforces anything, guess what? You can steal, right? And then look at this way, right? Corporations can steal $100,000, just to keep it easy, dollars worth of wages from their employees. Okay. Do that over 5 years. You get caught. Well, you gotta pay a fine. Yes, you do. Well, you used, right? Over 5 years, you used that $500,000 to invest in something, and you tripled your money. Because that's how the stock market works. That's all this shit. They take their money, right? And then they triple it, quadruple it over the course of, like, years or whatever, right? And then you pay, what is that, $50,000 fine? Maybe some legal fees, some court fees. So not only did you triple your money in that time because you got the money sooner and you can spend it and invest it sooner, but then the fines are not even as much as the wage theft. And then also, you see workers get their money back more often than not? No. Sometimes they do, but more often than not, no. Why? The law doesn't matter. There is no law. You do realize the Supreme Court just made up judicial review. Yeah, they made up everything. The idea that there's not... Oh, the 9 justices. Yes, we're the... Huh? What? 9? Like, why is that number so special? Look at what's going on in the Senate with the filibuster. What's the filibuster? Oh. The fuck's... What? Filibuster? Who's Phil? What? What's the fuck? Who's Phil? Can we get Phil on the phone? Yeah, we can stop them. What we need is we need a good amount of people to realize it's all made up. It's all made up. Money, fake. Presidents, fake. Constitution, fake. Like, again, look at the Senate. What? They're a senator. What's a senator? Huh? They walk around, oh yes! It's the senator! I'm the senator! That's mental illness. Like, this guy thinks that he's important. He's mentally ill. He should be in a home somewhere. Oh, look at me with my bed sheets on. I'm a justice. I'm a justice. Call me justice. Yes, I'm a justice. Huh? Oh, look at me. I'm the president. I'm the president. Look, the president. Oi, oi. I mean, look at JFK. He was LARPing around as the president. He fucked around a little bit. He's like, I don't know about this whole Vietnam thing. Dead. Why? Because the president doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who the president is. He has no power. No one has power. We're all just make-believe. We're all just fucking around. Everyone's just fucking around. No one gives a shit. And the society is going to crumble. Society is fucking crumbling. It is going to be 2022. The year of our goddamn Lord, 2022. And abortion is illegal. And then people go, well, but it's the red states. It's the red states. And so, and if you don't like it, you can leave and go to a states' rights. States' rights. Wow, states' rights. You know how those red states are red? Cheating. Cheating. You know the laws, the election laws on the books in these red states? You know when they were passed? During Jim Crow. Think about that. Okay, so red states. Oh, but the red states. You know, it's just the way they are down there. It's the red state. Okay, so black people can't vote for 100 years in these states. And then all of a sudden black people can vote. But during those 100 years, they gerrymandered the districts. They changed all the rules. They made all this, that, carry the 3, that, boom, 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 boom. And then you have like societal, cultural disenfranchisement, right? All that stuff. People don't care about voting. And then if they vote, their vote doesn't mean anything because the fucking rules were manipulated while black people couldn't vote. You know the majorities in a lot of these red states, these so-called the Deep South, a lot of the people that live in the Deep South are black. Right? You know, and so, but they couldn't vote for 100 years. And then so all these rich white plantation owning children, the children of plantation owners were like, all right, well, they might eventually win the right to vote. So let's set things up so that they can't vote effectively, or their votes don't mean anything, or we set up gerrymandered districts, or we set up the rules for gerrymandering or districts in general, and then we cap the House, and then we do this, and then we carry the 4, and boom. Deep South. You don't like it? Just leave. How do you leave? What money do you come up with to move out of the fucking Deep South? You know what the minimum wage is in these fucking states? It's $7.25 an hour, right? A lot of states have a higher minimum wage than the federal minimum wage. Not here. Not here, motherfucker. I'm living in North Carolina. What's the North Carolina minimum wage, huh? You want to know? $7.25 an hour, motherfucker. Have fun moving across the country on $7.25 an hour. That's a good idea. This country is fucking dumb. This country is fucking stupid. And why is this happening? Because people just don't care enough. They let the white grandchildren of plantation owners walk around. Oh, that's the governor. Hello, governor. You do the governor? What the fuck is a governor, bro? This guy just cut your health care. This guy just fucking slashed your fucking food budget. This guy just fucking raised prices on insulin. Oh, he's the governor. Huh? The fuck is a governor, man? What is that? It's the state senator. Yes, that's right. He's the state senator. He's an assemblyman. No, he's mentally ill. He's going around town pretending like he's a big shot. And y'all are just going like, okay. What the fuck? Like, do you realize how stupid this shit is? Like, do you realize, right? None of it is real. There is no law. There is no order. There's nothing. We're all just fucking chemical, like, reactions, right? People are watching the stream. They're going to have a chemical reaction afterward, right? But you were predetermined to watch this stream. Your entire life up until this moment led you to this, right? And then this information, right, that I'm giving, my entire life led up to this. And then you're going to have a takeaway. And is that takeaway going to overthrow capitalism? Probably fucking not, because we need a lot of people to do so. And so the whole point of government, as it exists in this country, what is government? It's a convening of people. It's not like government should be seen like janitorial duty. Like, oh, I gotta fucking govern. Fuck. You know how people view jury duty? Ugh, god damn it. I gotta go to jury. That's what governing should be like. The president should be like, oh my god. Why am I even doing this? Government shouldn't be, I've got power over you. Government should be, all right, you want us to do this? Fuck. All right. And they draft up the paperwork. And they fucking make sure that shit works. Right? We should have referendum laws. Like, how are we living in a country where 80% of Americans want, like, some form of universal health care? Right? And we just don't have it. What? Okay. So 80% of the country wants socialized medicine. Okay, 70% of the country wants to legalize marijuana. And guess what? Someone just got sentenced to, 6 months in prison for marijuana possession in North Carolina. 70% of the country wants to legalize marijuana. Someone is in jail right now for possessing like a blunt. Smoking a blunt on the way home from work. In jail in a country where 70% of the people that live there don't want that to happen. But is 70% of the country going to collectively realize, wait a second, why is that judge sentencing that person to jail? They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything fucking wrong. They were smoking a blunt on the way home from work. Who cares? God damn. They work retail, motherfucker. It's Black Friday. Jesus Christ, let someone chill. Nope. In jail. Why? Because 70% of motherfuckers don't care. They don't give a shit. They don't fucking care. They're not in jail, so they don't fucking care at all. These motherfuckers don't care whatsoever. They can say, man, I support smoking weed, man. It should be legal. They haven't been caught, so they're not going to do jack fucking shit about it. They're not going to do jack fucking shit about it. So, I don't know. I don't think government is real. I don't think any of this is real. I think it's all fake. I mean, we can even talk about, like, the systemic levels of consciousness and what is real and what's not real. And, like, is anything that we're experiencing real? Is this all just a dream? Are we in a coma right now? It's all possible. Right? But, I mean, I'm telling you what I know as a fact. Is if you see someone walking around the street with a bed sheet on and they're calling themselves a justice, I don't know. There's a problem there. If someone is waltzing around town wearing a fucking Santa costume, ho ho ho, abortion's illegal, ho ho ho. Why would anyone pay attention to that? Oh no, but he's the senator. He's the justice. He's a judge. Your Honor. Your Honor? Your Honor. They force you to call judges Your Honor. Like, what happens if you go to court and your judge is like, Philip Fuckface? And you're going up there, you lean onto, how they give you a podium? You put your elbow on there. It's like, all right. And you put your hand up there and you're like, yo, Philip, this motherfucker doesn't know what's going on. You're not allowed to do that. Why? He's Your Honor. My honor? What? My honor? Well, it's my honor to be here speaking to you all now. I'm glad that I have an audience. That's my honor. Your honor? Like, what? What? Like, have y'all ever been to court? Because I had this court case over the protest shit this summer. And so I was in and out of the court system probably like 5 or 6 times. I had to be in the courtroom and just wait there all day and watch what they do. You know what happens if you don't show up for court in North Carolina and Pasco-St. County? You won't believe this, but check it out. Okay. So, a sheriff's deputy, right, is in the courtroom. And if you're not there, right, when they call out a list of names, right, as like a check-in thing, and if you're not there, the judge looks at the sheriff deputy and says, call them out. And what does the sheriff deputy say? You won't believe this. Oh, yes! I'm not even joking. This is not a joke. And I wish I could record it, but cameras are banned in courtrooms. Okay. They say, and I'm not joking, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. Insert name here. You are by forth here declared, like, demanded by court order to be here on this day. If you don't show up, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. They literally say that. I had to listen. When you're sitting in court, people don't show up. It happens all the time. So you have to listen to this balding, fat fuck in the front of the courtroom saying, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, doing a little song and dance. I literally, when I heard it the first time, I started laughing in the courtroom. I'm not joking. I started laughing. I thought it was a joke. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. You are hereby declared to be... And everyone in the courtroom is just like, this is normal. Yep. Like, I can show up on stage at a coffee shop and go, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. And people are going to laugh at me because I'm a fucking moron. You go to a courtroom, all of a sudden, you're Billy Badass. You're the coolest kid in class. What? Like, think about this. What the fuck? Y'all gotta stop fighting amongst each other. I got news for you, and this is for Catherine, and please don't get mad at me. Nothing will come out of this chat room that's gonna save the world. It's just not gonna happen. Like, now, if you want to aspire to save the world, I do too, and I'm down to, do shit offline. But it's like, I mean, this chat's not going to save the world. I'm just saying. And I have no expectation that that's going to happen. I would like it. I would love if every one of my viewers would, lead an army to, save the world. That would be cool. Not going to happen. They can do these hearings on Zoom, but choose not to. Yeah, isn't that another thing? You want to know why? You want to know why? It's about control. Even though you have to risk getting COVID to sit in a fucking courtroom all day, this is about control. They want you to waste your fucking time. They want you to waste your fucking time listening to some fat fuck balding goofball dance around and juggle in the front of the room. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, you're hereby declared. You have to waste your time watching this circus act while some stupid fuckface guy wearing a bed sheet is like, jail for 6 months, marijuana possession. Jail, 6 months, marijuana possession. That's what I was doing in court. I was sitting there listening to a fucking goofball balding prick. And guess what? They all have guns. You love that, right? They all have fucking guns. So this dancing buffoon has a gun strapped to his fucking waistband. Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, you're hereby declared! While the guy in the bedsheet is sending people to prison for fucking marijuana possession. And I have to sit there and waste my time. I couldn't do a show that day because I was in court for fucking 8 hours listening to that. Listening to that. A literal fucking circus show. What the fuck? So, okay, again. Some guy in a bedsheet sentences people to 6 months in prison for marijuana. Someone's smoking a blunt while walking home. 6 months in prison because the guy in the bedsheet said so. This guy in the bedsheet, like, this one time, the judge here, the guy in the bedsheet was dealing with someone who was in court and they were homeless, and they said that they were homeless and they needed to have their case continued so that they could find a place to stay and so that they could get a lawyer, right? And the guy in the bedsheet said, no, you should have put your court date on the fridge so you wouldn't forget, because they showed up late or some shit. And so because you showed up late, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass. The guy in the bedsheet listened to a homeless person say that they need a place to stay so that they can deal with this court case. The guy in the bedsheet said, put your fucking mail on the fridge. What fridge, motherfucker? What fridge, Mr. Bedsheet? What? Guy was found guilty. He has a place to stay now. It's fucked up. But the guy in the bedsheet said so. The guy wearing the clown costume said so. So fuck it. We got to do it. Like, have y'all ever been to court? I'm asking this like as a poll. In fact, I'm gonna do an actual poll here because I'm curious. Have y'all ever been to court? It's a one hell of an experience. And you can just go to court, by the way. You don't have to have a court case. You can, like, it's a public courtroom, right? So you can just go and watch. I suggest, put your mask on, get your gas mask, whatever it is. Go to court and watch. I'm not even joking. It will change your life. If you go to court and watch, that will literally permanently change your view of politics in this world. I'm telling you right now. And you can do it for free. Find out whenever your court proceedings are and wherever county you're at. I'm not even joking. On a day off where you have nothing to do, go to court for a couple hours and watch how that shit works. But don't wear a hat. Yeah, that's right. When I went to court for the first time, some 80-year-old goofball who couldn't read my name off of a spreadsheet with a gun strapped to his fucking waistband told me to take my hat off. You can't have a hat in the courtroom. You can have guns. You can walk around with guns. The cops can. You can wear a bed sheet. But you can't have a hat on. When am I updating my wiki feed? That's up to you. If you want to update it right now, I'll give you a sample. Let me make sure my feet are a little messy. I was cleaning, and I got a little. I'm not gonna give you a sample. I gotta wash my feet off. This foot's not looking so bad. If you want a sample, there you go. Sample. Boom. Post that on there. But yeah, I would highly suggest everyone listening to me who has never been inside of a courtroom, go to a courtroom. It's free. You don't need to pre-sign up or anything. You just walk in, say that you're there to observe, and just see what shit goes down. Especially if you live in the South. If you live in a county where marijuana is illegal, I guarantee you will deal with someone going to prison for a long time because they smoked weed. I'm telling y'all. And they the lawyers, and they explain their case. Someone got sentenced to 6 months in prison for having half a gram of marijuana. They were pulled over and they had half a gram of marijuana in their pocket. Half a gram! Sentenced to prison. Another great Carlin bit, the religious obsession with hats. It's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. Daniel, I mean, I feel it, man. If you don't need it, then you don't need it. But I would highly recommend people that have never been inside of a courtroom to go just to observe. Half a gram of weed. And it's not like you're high. Right? You bought weed and you're driving home to the comfort of your own home so that you can smoke weed and jerk off and go to sleep. Wow. Gotta throw you in prison because you wanted to go home, smoke weed, and jerk off. We're going to steal 6 months or a year of your life. We're going to steal it. You will never, ever get your 27th year on this earth. You will never get it back, ever, because you wanted to go home, smoke a joint, and jerk off and go to sleep. Sorry. That's too radical. What the fuck? So fuck the law. Fuck you. Fuck this country. Fuck the guy with the bedsheet. Fuck the clown with the gun saying, oh yes, oh yes. Fuck all of this. Fuck the justice. Fuck the senator. Fuck everything. This country fucking sucks. It's all made up. It's all fake. And the more you fucking realize that, the faster you get to that conclusion, hey, then you just know what's going on. Now, I can't present to you a solution. I don't know how to stop this. I don't know how to save the world. If I did, I wouldn't be doing this stupid shit. But my goal is to have as many people as I can realize how fucking dumb all of this is. 80% of Americans have had their dicks cut off. 80% of those with dicks get them cut off. 95% of Americans they just don't know how to eat vegetables. They just don't know. Every day, every meal of every day for 95% of Americans is dessert. Fried food, fast food, processed food. Bread, carbs. It's dessert. Every meal of every day for 95% of Americans is dessert. The fuck? 70% of Americans believe in angels. They believe angels are watching over them. Kids are getting shot in the streets. And there's motherfuckers walking downtown thinking, yep, angels, they're watching over me. Why weren't they watching over the kid? No one was trying to shoot you while you're just walking downtown going on a shopping spree. Angels don't need to be watching you. They should be watching that kid who just got gunned down. But they weren't, because they're not watching, because they're not real, because you're a fucking idiot. 70% of Americans believe in angels. The fuck? What? And 30% of Americans believe that the election was stolen, the 2020 election, but only the presidential one. All the congressional elections, those were great. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she won. What did she win? Her election. When was that election? In 2020? But whatever. The Michigan shooter's parents have been charged. That's fucking good. And yet, so, okay, think about this. 70% of Americans believe in angels. They believe that angels are watching them and everyone, and that Jesus Christ is watching you jerk off, and that he died, and then he came back, all that dumbass bullshit. 70%. but they will turn around and laugh at people that believe in UFOs and aliens, people that believe that the earth is flat. Like, you ever hear a religious nutbag say, oh, you a flat earther? Are you? Are you, motherfucker? Are you a flat earther? Because you sound like it. People in Iceland and North Canada claim elves. Elves. There's elves, there's angels, there's leprechauns. They're running around town. Where are they? Can't see them. But you hear that crazy guy who believes in aliens? That guy's crazy. That guy is fucking crazy. Now let's go to church.